Of Titanic.
Now the stars are just starting to arrive, and they will be joining us right here on the E podium in just a moment, right?
But first we want to give you a look at what went into the making of this movie. I mean, everyone talks about the cost, but you can see every dollar up there on the screen.
I tell you, director James Cameron went to great lengths to make this movie absolutely perfect, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about in this behind-the-scenes look.
It'd be deep down there.
James Cameron's passion for his work runs deep. In the case of Titanic, 2.5 miles deep. Before he even shot a single frame of his epic movie, the director needed to become a passenger in order to understand the experience of Titanic. He wanted to make sure he knew everything about his subject matter, from bow to stern. Over the course of 6 months, Cameron himself made 12 deep-sea dives, an 8-hour voyage each way through the murky depths of the North Atlantic.
It actually was a smart thing to do, because recreate it with visual effects would have cost just as much, but we got the real thing. And so it created a kind of a sense of the rest of the film now has to live up to that level of reality.
The actual footage he shot of the Titanic was used in 2 capacities. As video, that his modern-day protagonist, played by Bill Paxton, records in his own voyage to the bottom of the sea, and as a template of what the interiors really looked like, so that they could be recreated for additional underwater scenes. Cameron's goal was to make the interior and exterior of Titanic absolutely accurate, to make it look as if you had stepped into a time machine.
When they were building the sets and doing the teacups and everything else, all had to live up to that standard of correctness, of historical correctness.
Since its discovery in 1985, no one has been able to get this close to the original ocean liner. Cameron and his crew recorded things that had not been seen since 1912. And it was here, on his 3rd or 4th visit to these dark, silent depths, that Cameron realized that Titanic was more than just a film.
Seeing the remnants of places where people were, seeing chairs and bits of furniture and the glass still in the windows and all that, just made it so much more real, We think of Titanic as a story, but Titanic is not a story or a myth. It's a real thing that really happened.
And this is the man.
Swearing, okay?
Yeah, please,
right.
Melissa.
Just clean it up.
Only so many bleeps allowed per show. James Cameron is here, the man who's responsible for this unreal piece of cinematic history. Did you like that, Bill?
I like that. That's good.
Now, tonight is the night.
Unreal can be good and it can be bad.
I mean it in the
think
best
it's
of
good.
ways,
Okay,
right?
good,
Now,
good.
normally we would say after all the hours of work put into this, but we have to say all the months, years even, tonight is the big payoff.
Right.
What's going through
Right.
your mind tonight?
Well, it's definitely the payoff, because it says we're here, we're done. It's closure, It's closure, because this thing has been a real odyssey, and it's been a lot of my life and a lot of my soul, in this movie. So I'm happy to be done, and I'm happy that people are responding really well to the film.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thank you, Todd. Just the whole experience that you have had from the beginning with this movie, going down and actually seeing the real Titanic. I mean, where do you put this in your life? I mean, you say, how do I beat this?
It's been some of the real highs of my life and some of the real lows of my life have all been on this film. It's been such a big chunk of experience that it's impossible to stand here and say, well, it was this or it was that. It was so much stuff. I mean, it was 3 years of my life, and it was for the actors sometimes 5-6 months of their lives. And everybody just they opened a vein and they bled into this film.
20 years from now, when you sit down with some of your friends and you're talking
I should
about,
live so long, the way I'm going.
and you're talking about the making of Titanic, what will be the fondest memory? I mean, will it be all the hard work? Will it be one special circumstance that went on during the filming, or one scene?
There's a moment in the film when they kiss for the first time, and of course that's the pivot of the whole movie. And we went out to film it, and it was cloudy like this and overcast, and it looked like it was going to rain. And then at the very last second, the last 10 minutes of daylight, the sky parted, the red sunset was absolutely gorgeous. We got the shot, we did it in one take, and it's absolutely exquisite in the movie. And all of the artifice, all of the big stuff and the sets and the money and all that stuff could not have produced that moment.
Well, congratulations, man. And you know what?
Thanks.
We'll be seeing.
Phenomenal.
We saw it for free the first time, but we'll be paying to see it again.
Good.
Yeah.
Unreal. Yeah, right.
And you know what? Because you're such a great guy,
friends.
I'm even going to buy it, huh?
What?
I'm going to buy it for my home collection.
I probably will too.
Excellent.
But
Congratulations,
just
James.
phenomenal. Thank you so much.
Thanks for the support.
Stick around. The limos are rolling in. The stars are heading down the red carpet, and we will be talking to them all right here on E!
Welcome back to the premiere of the Titanic. We are down here now at Mann's Chinese Theater in Hollywood, California, talking with Leah Thompson, who's very excited to see this film tonight. What have you heard about this?
Oh, I've heard a lot. I did a movie with Danny Nucci, who's in it, and so I heard a lot about how they got sick and how it took so long, but how it was a great experience, and I'm really psyched.
You know, Danny has an Italian accent in this movie.
Yeah, he can do a lot of accents. He's very talented.
Okay, and have you ever worked on something like this where you had to do all sorts of incredible stunts, or you had sort of intense pressure to run away from something like water?
I've done big special effects movies that took a long time to shoot before. All the Back to the Futures and Howard the Duck and Space Camp. All those movies are really big, and it takes a long time. It takes a lot of concentration.
But when it's all done and it's put together, you've got something to be so proud of.
Yeah, I'm psyched to see this. I think it'll be a big hit.
It's going to be a good one. Okay, I think we're going back now to Todd and Melissa to see what's going on up there.
All right, Suzanne, thank you very much. We're back down here at this end with Fran Drescher. Now, hold on. I'm confused.
Why?
What?
Wasn't Melissa considerably shorter than you the last time the three of us were together?
You know what, Todd? I'm really, really starting to be bothered by
I
you
just
this
don't
evening.
get it.
Wow.
I stand. Oh, you know what? Fine. If this will make Todd happy, here we go. No more shoes. There. Okay. Is that better, Todd, dear?
Sure, that's great.
That's his masculinity.
How? Exactly. It's a threat. We're a threat to your masculinity, Todd.
The two of you together, yes.
So how are you?
It's more flattering to have to look up anyway.
Whatever. How are you this evening?
I'm great, all is well. I'm really excited to be here. I think it's going to be a really good movie.
Can you believe the turnout tonight?
Everybody says that, Leo steals the movie from the ship, and, it's the Titanic. Hello. So, I'm really looking forward to it. I love him. He's great.
Would you love to do like an epic stunt special effects film ever?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask if I wanted to do a movie with Leo. That
that
I
too.
have the answer for right away. The other one, yeah, sure, I guess so. I mean, I think it's physically very grueling when you're doing it. I saw like a coming attraction for that movie that has a lot of water in it and flooding and stuff. And those people were like in water for 3 months.
Frizzy hair.
I was sure that they must have had earaches. This is what's going through my mind.
Your cuticles would just
given
peel.
the choice, I'd rather do a movie with Leo. But if the one that was being offered was an action adventure, okay.
She's even more awesome in person. Fran Drescher.
Thank you so much for stopping with us this
my
evening.
pleasure.
Enjoy the movie.
My
Hey,
pleasure.
ask Fran if she'll throw to a commercial break for us.
Will you throw to a commercial break for us? You're watching the premiere of Titanic right here on E! Welcome back, and we are here right now with Celine Dion. A big night for you, in the capping off a big year for you.
Yes, I've been having a big life. It's been wonderful, so thrilling, but it's a great honor to be here, be part of this wonderful experience of the Titanic. It's just so thrilling.
You know, you've had so many successful songs from many successful soundtracks. You know, how important is the music that you make to a movie like this? What does it add to it?
Well, first of all, when you love to sing, when your music is your life, to be able to influence or to be able to bring some happiness to people with your music, it is just a wonderful rewarding. It's just so wonderful. But to be part of a huge movie like the Titanic, it's just an incredible experience. Not because they have recreated this huge tragedy of the Titanic, but they came up with this amazing love story that is so heartbreaking. And this is what I believe the most. You know, love in my life, it's a big part because I sing about love all the time.
Yeah, you're a walking love story.
I know. I grew up surrounded with love. So when I saw that movie, it broke my heart many times. And I got ready because I know it's a very long movie. So I said to myself, I'm going to buy myself some popcorn, some drinks and everything. And then I sat down and the movie started. And honey, forget about it. I didn't touch anything. What?
Well, you keep on
amazing.
You
the
keep
actors
on
are
making
magnificent.
that. You keep on making that beautiful music.
And
We love it.
congratulations on just an amazing, amazing year for you.
Thanks a lot. Have a wonderful evening.
All right.
Now, right now, we are going to go down to the other end of the red carpet and see what Suzanne's up to. Suzanne?
Have you ever heard Suzanne sing?
No.
No.
What is this about me singing? You're picking on me tonight, I think, Todd. We're standing here with Gary Sinise and his lovely wife, Moira. And Gary, now, as we know, you have been nominated before for an Academy Award. What do you think it takes to win an Academy Award for a movie? Do you think this is something, with what you've been hearing, could be possible with Titanic?
From what I've been hearing, it's an awesome thing. I've read so much about this movie. I can't wait to see it. I'm surprised that they're still floating, all these people. Cameron he's amazing, and Leonardo DiCaprio, and Kate Winslet. I really like them, so I'm looking forward to it. Great.
Now, was that a little play on words when you said still floating?
Yeah.
We don't want to spoil anything for you, but...
Well, it's the Titanic. I mean, come on.
Well, so what in particular are you looking forward to seeing tonight? What particular element? Is it the costumes? Is it the acting?
Everything. It's it's kind of a epic story, but from what I hear, and I haven't seen it yet, the thing that really holds the movie together is the love story between the two, and so that I'm really looking forward to.
Well, have a great time tonight. You're in for a blockbuster movie. You're going to have a good time. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Suzanne. Now we are here right now with the man of the moment.
Yes, indeed. Leonardo DiCaprio. I love. You know what? Can we do something real quick before we get into the interview? Let's do something for all these people back here. Look at that, man. That's what it's all about tonight, right?
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
So, an amazing evening for you so far?
I mean, it's pretty spectacular. I've never done a film sort of near this caliber in my lifetime, and I don't think most people have, so it's unbelievably shocking to see all this. I mean, I'm a little overwhelmed, but it's cool, just trying to keep it real, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
And we've been talking about how the love story is so beautiful and so wonderful in this movie. But what is it like standing here tonight? The project is finished, saying, I am now officially a part of movie-making history.
Good at this, aren't you?
Yeah. I ask questions for a living.
Well, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think this is something that many future generations are going to see. I mean, more so than just the tale of the Titanic, which also has so many important themes for humanity, having to do with man's ignorance and the sort of third class, first class struggle that went on, and then fate, and man versus nature. A lot of different themes that have to do with the Titanic. I think overall the film projects the love story in such a fantastic way, and that's what I'm most proud of, the fact that it didn't all get overshadowed, you know what I mean?
But you know what, that love story couldn't have been created without the chemistry that you and Kate had. Was that immediate? I mean, as soon as you met her, did you know?
Oh, she's cool. I mean,
yeah,
she's just the coolest girl in the world. She's not going to be here tonight, unfortunately. I wanted her to come, but she had a tragic occurrence happen. But, I can't say enough fantastic things about that girl. I mean, we had such a camaraderie throughout the whole film.
You really did. And it's so obvious, man. So obvious.
Thanks, bro.
Is there one moment that stands out in your mind from the filming that is the strongest memory for you? I mean, was there one moment where you just looked around and went, oh my God, I'm here?
It's a story that I say all the time, is when it's this shot, which I think has been on the trailers a couple times, where we're sort of on the tilting poop deck, and I looked up and I saw like 30 cranes with lights, and Jim swooping in on a elevator crane past my face behind me while we're on a hydraulic poop deck, and there's like 20 guys below us with bungee cords falling on top of each other and over steel girders while we're like moving like this behind a green screen. So that to me that sort of like captured it all, where I said, how the hell did I get here? I mean, what happened to me to get me to this place in my life? But amongst all that, like I said before, the coolest thing was making this sort of intimate story between two people, which is what I want to stress the most about this film, because it works, man.
Well, you're the man. Cool. You're the man tonight, dude.
Thanks,
congratulations.
brother.
Give them one more
Thank
wave
you
over
so
there
much
because
for
they love it.
Thank you so much for shopping. Have a wonderful evening.
And with all the screams and Leo, we must take a break. More stars coming down the red carpet. We'll be talking to them all in just a moment.
Plus, we've got something you won't see anywhere else. We'll show you how they recreated the most famous ship in history as he brings you the premiere of Titanic.
Welcome back. We're talking right now with Sharon Lawrence. What a beautiful outfit you're wearing tonight. I guess you've heard there are some pretty incredible costumes in this movie.
Oh, no doubt. It's set in one of the most beautiful history periods that certainly our country, as well as the world of fashion and style, knew. But for me, I know the party's going to be outside, so I want to stay warm.
This girl is smart. Let me tell you. What have you heard about tonight's movie?
That it will transport us, and I believe that, regardless of whatever naysayers might like to bring to the fore in terms of the budget. I think the fact is this movie will capture our imagination and certainly our attention, as it already has.
Well, I think you're right. Have a great time tonight. Back to you, Todd and Melissa.
We are here with one of our favorite people, a man who knows James Cameron well, Arnold Schwarzenegger. How are you this evening?
I'm terrific, and I'm terrific and very happy because there's such an enormous turnout for my friend Jim Cameron and for his movie The Titanic. I'm ecstatic about seeing the movie now for the first time. I've seen bits and pieces that he has shown me, but I have not seen the whole movie.
Well, we can tell you're expecting a big night because you got the stogie all set to go there in the
The
pocket.
stogie is always there,
Always
close
there.
to the heart.
That's right.
Yes, absolutely.
So how does it look to you so far? How did those little bits and pieces look? Let's get a little thumbnail review.
I went down to the set 3 times to visit Jim and to visit also the cast and crew, a lot of people that I've worked with on Terminator and on True Lies and all those kind of films. And it is spectacular. I've never seen a set like that. He had total control over the film, Jim Cameron. He was directing at the time I was down there at least 1,000 people. And the ship was going down into the water 3 times during that night. One time I remember, and it's really unbelievable. But I think one of the things that the people will be most surprised about is that the sinking of the Titanic and all those kind of action pieces are really not the strength of the movie, although it's the most powerful action sequence that you've ever seen. But that's not the strength. The strength is the acting. The strength is the story, how emotional it is, what a great love story it is, and those kind of things. So to me, when I saw those pieces, it brought tears to my eyes. And I'm not the kind of a guy that cries easy.
Yeah,
but
me
I mean,
neither, Arnold.
Yeah, well, you're a ballsy guy. That's fine.
You don't know
It
him
takes
well.
one to know one.
You don't know him well.
Guys talking now. What are you talking now?
I work with him all the time. Take my word
But
on
anyway,
it.
it's just spectacular, the whole movie, and you know the quality of it, the sets, the wardrobe.
Absolutely.
The authenticity of the wardrobe, you know, how they went back to that period and got the experts to design all this stuff. So I think it's extraordinary, and I think that he will get a lot of awards for it. And he deserves all the awards because there's no one that has put more work into a movie than Jim Cameron on Titanic.
Thank you so much for stopping.
Absolutely.
A
It's good
pleasure to see you
again,
as
know.
always.
And as I said, you're a fantastic interviewer, and good luck with your career.
Oh,
All right,
thank
Arnold,
you.
take care,
Thank
man.
you.
I'll see you at the gym.
Absolutely. I'll be back.
Oh, yeah.
Suzanne, try and top that. Take it, Suzanne.
Okay, Todd, what was that I heard? You're actually going to try lifting weights with Arnold. I don't know about that. You might lose, buddy. We've got one of Arnold's former co-stars and a good friend and somebody who has a very close connection to the director of this amazing movie. Gorgeous Linda Hamilton, how are you tonight?
I'm good.
Good. Now, you know, you've only been married 5 months. Have you had a chance to have a honeymoon?
No, not at all. He sort of is gone immediately after the wedding. We had 5 days in Ireland that were kind of sweet, but he's not ready to come down yet.
No. Do you have one planned in the future?
We owe each other a lot of time. I think we're going to take 4 or 5 of them.
There you go. Have you seen the movie yet?
I've seen the movie probably 10 times.
Oh, well, tonight will be different with this huge audience and all these amazing people here to support it.
Yeah, and it's fun. You know, I actually have loved it every time, more and more. Now I get to see all the details. The detail is so beautiful in the movie.
And it's truly a romantic film, isn't it?
Yes.
Well,
it reaches out in so many different, I mean, the scope of it is great in terms of romance and just, you know, it's an epic.
absolutely. I think that from what I can tell, your husband has done an amazing job. Everybody's looking forward to seeing the film tonight. Thanks for talking with us. We're going to be right back here on E! Entertainment Television with more with the Titanic premiere. Don't go away.
It's all about Hollywood tonight as he brings you the premiere of the most expensive movie ever made, Titanic. Over $200 million. And, you know, we spent some of that money to get Nathan Lane here tonight to kind of pull him away from the mouse hunt.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that because, you
Our
know,
pleasure.
this is we're opening the same weekend.
Oh, that's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah, it's a really good feeling. You don't want to see this. You know how it ends.
Yeah,
See Mouse Hunt, for God's sake. The kids will love it. Oh, the kids love Mouse Hunt. It's like a Shriners convention when kids go to it.
Loved you on Saturday Night Live, too, by the way. I
Thank you
meant to
very
tell
much.
that. Very funny.
Thank you.
So now you are here this evening for.
I think.
Yeah, you are here.
I'm not a hologram.
No, thank goodness. So no, you're here to see it because you want to go see Mouse Hunt the same weekend, right?
Right, I wanted to get this out of the way.
Sure. Sure.
And support James Cameron. Yes.
Are you excited to see the
I'm
movie?
the only member of SAG who is not in this film.
Really?
Yes, everyone else is in it except me. I was out of town that weekend when they were casting, so.
Feeling a little bitter?
I'm a little bitter. Yeah, I'm always a little bitter.
Well, you know what? We're going to let you go in and watch the
Thank
movie.
God, thank God.
Thank you
I'll
so-
save you a seat.
Wait, oh, like they let us inside.
Okay,
Thank you so
nice
much
to
for
see
stopping.
you. Todd, cheer up.
See you, buddy. Thank you very much.
Right now, let's go see what Suzanne is up to at the other end of the line.
Todd, Melissa, we have standing before us right now Eric LaSalle and his fiancée, Angela. So, Angela, is this man a romantic?
Yes, he is a romantic.
If she had said no. I love when you guys ask those questions.
I'm sorry, we're getting the scoop here, but I have to ask because this movie is actually a love story. Have you heard about that?
Yes, that's actually one of the main reasons we want to see it. We thought it would be a lot of action for me, a lot of romance for her, and actually for both of us. But it should be interesting.
Do you know anybody in the film?
Not personally. I've met Leonardo a couple of times, but I wouldn't say that we were the best of boys yet. But I'm a big fan of his work, and I met James Cameron as well, and I'm a fan of his work. So coming here to support.
Well, I think you are not going to be disappointed. I saw the movie a couple of days ago. It is stunning. Okay, good. So thanks so much for talking to us. Have a good time tonight. Back to you, Todd and Melissa.
Thank you, Suzanne. Now we are here right now. I love you! The fans are screaming, the lights are flashing, and the stars are smiling. This is the premiere of Titanic.
It most definitely is. We'll be talking more of the stars right here in just a moment.
But first, think about this. A first-class ticket on the Titanic cost about $3,000 in 1912. That's the equivalent of $124,000 today.
Shoot, it would take us a couple weeks to raise that kind.
No, absolutely.
And for that kind of cash, passengers expected incredible luxury. And James Cameron has spared no expense himself in recreating the floating palace that was
No
Titanic.
one is anticipating the debut of the film Titanic more than the legion of Titanic history buffs. No doubt they're preparing to scrutinize every aspect of this film, ready to pounce on any deviation from the truth. Well, James Cameron was expecting nothing less.
Background and action.
From the design, to the costumes, to the recreation of the massive destruction, it's all there, down to the filigree on the china patterns. And it is, in fact, so genuine that even the veterans who worked behind the scenes were awed by the sheer magnitude of it all.
Just an unprecedented chance to sort of play with the look of the period and sort of try and recreate the opulence of the era.
Unlike most period pieces, where designs are sometimes simply studied and recreated, many of the costumes for Titanic came from vintage clothing culled from sources all over the world, including this delicate gown, which has a special history of its own.
This dress is an original Lucille, who was married to an aristocrat, Cosmo Duff Gordon. They were actually passengers on the Titanic and both survived.
Even mannerisms were carefully choreographed.
As soon as that person's finished, signals like that. It goes out.
Jim Cameron said, I want the Titanic, and that's what we're going to give him.
It was Cameron's desire to make this the final word on the Titanic, and it fell to his design team to see that vision through. From exact replicas of stemware, to carpets designed by the very same company that created the original pattern, to moldings and deck chairs, and luggage and marine accessories, even the rivets on the ship's hull, no detail was ignored.
We actually have teams of people making all the dining room chairs, for instance. We have 450 dining room chairs to make.
For the first time ever, the original blueprints of the Titanic were made available, and Cameron and crew used them to create their masterpiece, a 775-foot exterior set of the ship, complete with its 4 distinctive smokestacks.
Titanic has been so well studied, and there are so many amateur Titanic historians around who will be more than happy to come forth and tell us what we've done wrong, that we felt that it doesn't cost any more to do it right than to do it wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Even the seawater was authentic, only it came from the Pacific rather than the North Atlantic, since the movie's stages were built in Mexico, right by the shore.
Now, it's because of scenes just like that when the many stars have come out tonight to see this film.
And we are here right now. Thank you, Todd, for just
You like that?
nice little dangling participle. We are here with a friend of mine, Ashley Judd. Now, what a year for you!
Yes, indeed.
How does it? I mean, how does it feel? I mean, you're walking down the red carpet now, where everybody knew who you were. Now, really, like everybody knows who you are.
That's not something for which I strive, and so I remain pretty impervious.
But
to that
it's
part.
got to change the whole experience coming down the red carpet.
I just hope that no one has taken my seat while I'm out here doing all of this stuff.
Now we know this is like the third red carpet you've come down this week.
I know, that's why I'm a bit shy about the whole thing, because I don't come to Los Angeles that often, but when I'm in town for 4 or 5 days, I love coming to a premiere because then you see the movie, you get it accomplished. Yes, it's entertainment, but it's also work for me. So it's like staying up to date, reading scripts.
Now this has got to be one of the most exciting premieres that I know. It's one of the most exciting we've been to in a long time. How
I've
about
made
you?
it a big deal because I had my godmother come down from San Francisco so we
nice.
could have a Christmas visit. She loves history. She's tender-hearted. I thought it was the perfect movie for us. We'll go out to supper.
Well, thank you so much for stopping.
Guys. I
Enjoy your evening and happy holidays.
Thank you, same to you.
Tell the
Take
family
care.
we said hello, your mom and sister.
Thank you.
I shall.
See you later.
Take care. Coming up, we'll show you how to buy a piece of the Titanic from the bottom of the ocean for a mere $10. Wow, Todd, even you might spring for something like
We're
that.
talking, that's a real bargain. So why don't you keep it right here on E as us, bring you all the excitement from the premiere of Titanic.
I am standing here now with Bill Paxton and his beautiful wife, Louise. And Liz, can I just congratulate you? I have seen the movie, and it is amazing.
Thank you. I'm just really proud to be a part of it. Titanic is one of the greatest stories of all time, and I've known Jim Cameron a long time, and when he called me up, he didn't have to ask me twice.
Now, Bill, what is it with these high-tech, multi-effect pictures? We had Twister, now we've got Titanic. What's next for you, mister?
Mighty Joe Young. Mighty fine movie. But I'm so excited to be here tonight to celebrate Titanic. The ship is going to sail again tonight.
Have you had a chance to see the movie yet?
I've seen it. It's phenomenal. And Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet are sensational. Everybody in the show, excluding myself, is really good. And it's amazing to see this ship come back to life in this motion picture. I mean, there have been other movies about Titanic, but not like this.
It's very moving, isn't it? Now, have you had a chance to see it?
No, I'm very excited.
Oh, you are in for a real treat. It's moving. We have a momentous moment happening right here. We've got a baby, I think, that's kicking, getting excited about the film.
In case the water breaks.
Are we that close?
We're pretty close.
We're pretty close. It could happen anytime. Back to you, Todd and Melissa.
Well, Melissa, you know, you can tell by all the hustle and bustle here on Hollywood Boulevard that not only is it almost Christmas time, but it's almost showtime at Mann's Chinese Theater in Hollywood as E brings you the premiere of one of the most talked about movies in years, Titanic.
We've been talking to the stars of the movie all night. Now it's time to see some of the unsung heroes in the film, the stunt people.
This is it! Oh, God! Oh, God!
Well, this was the hardest movie I've ever had to make.
It looked extraordinary. It looked so real. I kind of couldn't believe it.
At the terrifying climax of Titanic, thousands of people cling to life as the unsinkable ship of dreams loses her battle with nature. In order to recreate this heart-stopping moment, months of very careful planning had to take place.
It's my responsibility and the stunt coordinator's responsibility to keep people from getting hurt. So all the stunts were rehearsed on video weeks in advance.
But our biggest problem is going to be like when we get to 90 degrees, you know, we're actually having people drop, hit other people, they fall, hit other people, and it's just like a game of skittles or 10-pin bowling or whatever you call it. And it's just people are going to be going everywhere. I mean, it must have been horrific for real, because it's horrific now.
Every day coming into set was almost like a new sort of roller coaster ride to take.
Let's start thinking about our motivation. Let's start thinking about what those people went through.
During the shoot, newspaper reports said that Cameron was taking dangerous risks with his cast and crew, that extras were enduring harsh and extreme conditions, and that there were injuries during the sinking sequence, charges that the director flatly denies.
To take us to task for safety on that set was really absurd because so much money and so much time was spent on doing everything properly, and there were no injuries to actors, there were no injuries to extras. I would walk the set with the stunt coordinator and look at places where somebody could bang their head, a sharp corner, we'd put a piece of rubber foam over it. We called it the Nerf set, you know. It was almost impossible to get hurt on that set.
I mean, I knew going into it this was going to be something special.
Come on!
And if all that weren't enough, check this out.
I like that.
A piece of coal, let me get this the right way, from the Titanic's boiler room. It could be yours for $10.
So if I get coal in my stocking this year, it's a good thing.
It's a very good thing.
Okay. Well, you know, as the exclusive owner of all objects recovered from the Titanic wreck site, RMS Titanic Incorporated is absolutely committed to keeping all the artifacts together for public exhibition, which is nice. Titanic coal is the only object from the wreck site that's going to be offered for sale.
And it makes a perfect gift, right, Todd?
For you, to me, yes.
Okay, well, you know, you are cold and heartless, and I'm so cruel, Todd.
Come on.
Let's check in with a nice person like Suzanne Senna, who's down the other end of the red carpet.
Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that. It has been the most amazing night tonight. Not only have the fans not been disappointed, but I have not been disappointed. I saw more stars out here tonight than I have seen at any event in recent months here in Hollywood. It was a great time. I think people are going to love the movie. Something so much not to be missed, and we're glad everybody could join us today here on E. Back to you two.
Well, we had a great time too, but you know, it's so interesting. This whole thing is just fascinating to me. I'm a big Titanic buff. What can I say? We're gonna